Hi, I'm Randall Malden, and in this short walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to use AI to build a professional negotiations brief in under 15 minutes. This isn't theory, it's the exact method I've used to prep smarter, uncover savings, and walk into supplier conversations with a clear strategy. Let's jump in. Here's the prompt we'll use, and you can grab the full version plus variations in the AI negotiations brief prompt pack linked below in this video. Here's the prompt. You are a senior procurement advisor preparing for negotiations. Based on the info I provide, create a brief with key cost or timeline concerns, recommended leverage point, suggested concessions, optional fallback positions, and sample opening email. Now let's go ahead and add the data from the supplier. This is the kind of data that you would need to provide as well based on what you're trying to do. So we put in here, here is the supplier info. This right here, which is a product of 10,000 units of corrugated packaging, supplier quote of $2.14, a 6-week lead time, and notes that this is a returning supplier with a price increase of 12% from the last order. Now let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's run it. Okay, so as it runs it, so you notice the time that it quickly prepares and provides the information that you're looking for. Procurement negotiation brief, corrugated packaging, 10,000 units, 214 per unit, 6 weeks, and returning supplier with a 12% increase from the last order. Our key cost or timeline concerns, price increase of 12% from the last order, raises questions about input cost or margin expansion. The 6-week lead time may impact our downward stream production or customer delivery SLAs if not padded adequately, and there's no clear justification provided for the cost hike. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Recommended leverage points. Historical pricing and relationships supplier has delivered before. Loyalty and order consistency can justify price protection. The market benchmarks. Similar packaging providers are quoting $1.90 to $2.05 per unit with a 4 to 6 week lead time. And volume commitment, opportunity to increase future order volumes or enter into a 2-order agreement in exchange for price reductions. And then a speed to purchase order, a willingness to issue a purchase order within 48 hours upon favorable terms. We have our suggested concessions if we need to. We can accept the current lead time if price can be reduced, right? Prior rate or capped at 5%. Lock in 214 per unit for the order only in exchange for improved pricing on the next bulk order, and provide longer payment terms in exchange for a price rollback. Optional fallback positions, negotiate free freight, reduce shipping fees, request improved packaging specs and inspection guarantees, and explore bundle pricing if the SKUs can be added. Here's our opening email. Corrugated packaging order request for pricing review. Hi, supplier name. Thanks for your quote for 10,000 units. Corrugated packaging. We've reviewed your proposal and noted a 12% increase compared to our last order. As a returning customer with consistent volume, we'd like to explore options to bring this closer in line with prior pricing, especially continuing planning Q2 packaging needs are open to a multi-order discussion. If there's flexibility on price or added value we can incorporate, we're ready to move quickly with a PO this week. Look forward to finding a win-win path forward. Best regards, Randall Malden. There we go. Okay. Now here's what the AI just gave me. A clear summary of lead time risk, price negotiation leverage based on volume plus history, smart concession ideas, and a full draft email to kick off the negotiations. That's a usable brief in under a minute. It gets you started and you can start to move out on some other things that we can do. We can actually go back into the market and ask the AI to do current market research, conduct current market research for corrugated packaging to see if the price increase is in line with current market conditions. Okay, so now what it's going to do is go out and search the web, see if there's any additional information about market research for corrugated packaging to see if it's in line. Okay, so this is based on market data. The supplier 12% price increase for corrugated packaging appears to be consistent with industry trends observed in 2024 and 2025. So now you have data that supports this. What I want to point out here is it's giving us information. Industry-wide price increases, major North American container board producers, including International Paper, West Rock Packaging Corporation of America, announced price hikes ranging from $60 to $75 per ton for line board of early 2024. Okay, These increases were primarily driven by a focus on a margin improvement rather than demand pressures. And what I want to point out here is you've got an actual link that you can verify this particular information. So you just go here and you can check it out and see that it is current information as of March 2024. Okay. Go in here. Again, we see more information 2024. All right, 2024. Okay. Price per unit benchmarks. Now, what I'm going to say, bring it up to speed, current information. What is the impact of the current tariff issues we experienced? Tariff issues caused by the U.S. government. I want to demonstrate to you that these prior information was 2024, March 24, over a year ago. Now let's see if we can bring this information even up closer, since we now have to worry about tariffs. Okay, significant, right? Significant. As of April 2025, the average effective U.S. tariff rate has surged to 22.5%, the highest since 1909. Okay, specifically, tariffs have been imposed on the imports of steel and aluminum, essential materials, and packaging production. Tariffs have led to 2.3% rise in overall price levels, translating to an average annual loss of 38 per annual. Not worry about that. How does this apply to corrugated packaging? Right? And what we're doing here is just seeing, okay, how this affecting these raw material costs. All right. Not as affected as much. Okay. Even though there are increases, they're not having to impact corrugated production. Okay. Higher overhead packaging manufacturers pass down in the form of price increases. Okay. That's okay. Imported corrugated products now cost more. Very good. Okay, supply chain diversion bottlenecks results in longer lead times. Again, information you want to know. Very good. Okay, summary of why it matters to your negotiations. Material costs, okay, import tariffs, supply chain delays, and freight delivery issues. Great. Okay, good to go. Okay, good. Now, let's put this together in a negotiations brief for the director. Well, so we're putting it all together here. Now, we only been working on this for about 10 minutes. So now we've got this together. We have some information, current information off the market, key concerns, timeline risks, market justification on external pressures. So it gives us some information to know why we might have to experience a price increase. It's across the industry, market conditions, leverage points, our relationships, market intelligence, volume, speed to PO, and tariff mitigation. Supplier may not be transparent about cost structure. So that's where we have to be careful, right? Even though they're proposing a price increase, question I would ask, is it enough? Have you considered the tariffs? When do you expect this to have impact on your cost, right? If we're expecting delivery in 6 weeks, is that going to make a big difference? That's what we want to make sure we get conversation going so we don't get surprised 6 weeks from now. More importantly, we don't not get our order 6 weeks from now. Okay. Here's our concessions 1, 2, and 3, and our fallback. And then we have our draft email to our supplier. Now, this is where, you as an analyst, you can review this, make sure it's good to go, present it to your director. The director can review it, approve, agree, give you additional advice based on prior experience, and then you can go back and tweak this out. All done within less than 10 minutes, right? All that, including market research, current data, everything you need to do a proper negotiations. So this is the kind of AI that saves hours and makes my negotiation prep look clean, credible, and consulting level professional. If you want to try this exact process, click the button below and download the AI Negotiations Brief Prompt Pack. It includes the full prompt, 3 pro level variations, step-by-step instructions you can use right now. And if you want more fast, real-world wins like this, check out our AI Quickstart Bootcamp at changeskills.com. We'll show you how to turn time-saving AI use cases into consulting income without coding, quitting, or starting over. Download the pack, get your first win. Let's build something real.